G'day Aussie Gridiron fans, and welcome to the Week 3 reaction show for the G'day Gridiron podcast, brought to you by the Aussie Gridiron Network. We are back to check out some reactions and maybe some overreactions and just run through some thoughts on Week 3. It's been a very, very interesting week. Isaac, Brad, how are you going?
I never thought I'd kind of hit saturation point with football, and I still haven't. I think I've watched every game this weekend, or at least bits and pieces of. I shouldn't say every game, but it's been fantastic. What a whirlwind! We'll maybe get into it later, but what a whirlwind ending to those first games. I mean, that was unreal. I'm still riding high from that.
Isaac, I have a loose theme for Week 3 this week again. How about Week 3 is special?
It is special because a lot of special teams made special plays. And
exactly, I was hoping you'd get it. Yeah, it was all about special.
Think alike, you know. We sit there.
I don't know if anyone has ever called us great minds.
And I did listen to the preview show, and I was hanging to listen to it, and I was very sad to hear that Brad talks shit about me 6 days out of 7 days. So I cried a little tear when that happened, when that came over my ear holes.
I forget. I talk so much. What reference are you saying?
Brad doesn't remember what he says.
No.
Ian said on the preview show, he said, "Oh, we can talk shit about Isaac," and you said, "I only talk shit about Isaac 6 days out of 7."
Yeah, because it was the 3.
Yeah.
It was the Raiders thing. Yeah.
I gotcha.
All right, cool. Well, third week of the season, and the third guest we've had on so far this season. We've got another special guest in the studio with us, and they're going to go through some reactions and a TNF preview for next week as well. So, welcome, Cody. How you going?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Hey, mate, anytime we can have a Seattle supporter here, we are in good spirits.
Well, Brad is.
I love to hear that.
Brad definitely is. Brad is a secret Seahawks supporter.
No, I'm not. So, Cody, just full disclosure, I grew up outside of Seattle, so a little bit.
Oh well, yeah, I was born in Vancouver, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that started, growing up and watching all the Seattle teams play. So it's it's a nice place to be. I was lucky enough to go back a couple of years ago and go to a game. So it's a really nice city. So growing up with my dad and watching all those, which was good. So
Wow.
it's definitely morphed into different stages over the years, but it's been good.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Well,
I think you answered every question that I had for you today as well. I usually ask, like how long have you been an NFL fan and what team do you follow, obviously, and then how did you get there? But Jesus Christ, you got there because you were born there, like Brad was. That's why Brad's a Seahawks fan too.
Well, he was born in Canada, so yeah.
Well, absolutely,
it's close enough.
It's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I guess is there a Canadian team you follow? What do you want me to ask that, Brad?
The CFL, yes.
Up the lines.
Yeah, there you go. Nice job.
At least with the NFL, if you miss a field goal, you don't get a point.
Yeah. Well said.
You'd be pretty well into hockey then, I would assume, if you've grown up in Canada.
I do. Yeah, so I was my dad and I used to watch a lot of Canucks games. But since the Kraken have come along, keeping everything sort of keeping it all Seattle. Plus they got really cool jerseys. So
really cool mascots and jerseys. I know, it's just the logo.
Yeah. Makes it real quite easy to make a change there. And also, pretty much I'm 28 now, and the Canucks have sucked longer than that. So, it wasn't a hard decision. So yeah, it's we've been blessed with some good teams, so it's been good.
Yeah, cool.
What game did you go see when you went back a couple years ago?
I went to the Vikings preseason game.
Oh, wow. All right.
Awesome.
Right on.
So yeah, it was Gino only played a couple snaps, so I didn't have to throw any red zone picks. So which was nice. Nice not to see that for a change. So yeah, no, it was on one of my bucket list things to do in my life. So we'll hopefully get to a regular season game because I know the atmosphere is different, but it was insane. So
yeah. It's when you can go to those type of sporting events, it's especially if they're like bucket list stuff, it's pretty unreal. It's pretty cool.
And honestly, I wanted to go to Mariners. I wanted to go to a Mariners game and a Seahawks game, and it just happened to be 2 days apart, like right next to each other. So,
wow.
Beautiful.
Which was it was awesome to be able to tick both those things off. So,
Mariners are looking cool. They are looking great.
Right, first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So, it's Seattle's doing well at the moment.
They are.
I watch games every week with the Vikings games and stuff. I follow a lot of Vikings pages and the fan pages and stuff.
Yeah.
Every week I'm like, God, I really wish I could get to go to a Vikings game. It's got to be one time.
Absolutely.
There's a massive Vikings super fan called Sir Death. And yeah, he's just big dude, fully tatted Vikings stuff. You know, where it's basically on the fence all the time, but runs what is essentially become the official tailgate party for Vikings games, and he found this or got access to this lot that is essentially next to the car park at the stadium, and he's gone all out. Like he bought all these Vikings gazebos and things, and he has like a huge cookout, and then you pay money and you can go get like unlimited food and drink. And I saw it this week, and I'm like, yes, I'm doing this.
Absolutely.
It's worth the plane ticket.
100%.
It would be just for that, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not a drinker, but geez, I'll show Americans how to drink to start with when you're just going to give me free watered down beer.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like watching, I remember we got there before the game, watching people being there at, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was, and already started, and I'm like, I feel like I'm back at home in Brisbane.
Yep. You start drinking at 10 in the morning, watching football.
Absolutely. I was like, beer for breakfast, we're good to go. So it's it was good. Yeah, they're all cheering and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is a Saturday for us, whether there's sport on or not. So
it's true.
It was it was an experience, but yeah, it was it was awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
I get why, man. Like I said, I think I'd love to. Brad, I think you haven't been down to any kind of games, have you, Isaac?
Nah, not any games. It's again another bucket list thing. The Melbourne one will be good as a Rams fan. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Tickets are probably going to be too high, but maybe one in the US where there's real like NFL fans. That'd be sick.
It won't be that bad. I don't think tickets will be that bad.
It'd be interesting to see. I don't think.
They'll be hard to get when they go on sale.
Hard to get.
Oh yeah.
Do you think even with 90,000 people?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, because all the posers will get tickets before the rest of us will.
Okay. That's right, and a lot of them will be corporate stuff as well. A lot of people will be fucking all over that shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. What is it? North American Football of Australia. Well, they'll have a block of tickets, hopefully. Just kidding.
Yeah, look, I found it. Here's the picture of that tailgate I was talking about.
Yeah, that is close.
Size of that, and they're right there.
That is very
that size of it. It's around that whole house.
That is crazy.
So he just was able to, and he just charges people admin.
Yep.
To come in. Obviously, it's well attended.
Yeah. So. Heaps of people. Wild. And I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Like, tailgating has to be one of the massive things. It's like, not just do it, just go tailgate. I'm not going to, the other thing is, I'm not going to go to the US at the moment. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I
do not blame
100% have way too much on my Facebook feed.
Oh,
That would
jeez.
get me in
Yep.
trouble.
You're that guy.
There's 100% too many things that I've put out there into the world that would get me in trouble at the airport. So
Nice.
they can jam TSA where TSA can jam it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get into some reactions from week 3. And it was a massive week, and it was a very special week, full of special teams plays, blocked kicks, punts, special teams return, defensive returns, special teams returns, kick returns. It was all crazy. What was going on the whole week. So many really, really good games. Considering last week was just a boring as shit week, and then we thought when we did our previews last week before the weekend, we were saying it was very hard to pick games to preview because they all looked kind of lackluster for week 3 games, but it certainly didn't turn out that way. That's for sure. So we've got a bunch of reactions just to go through, a heap of reactions and overreactions from some people online. Isaac chucked up a post in the NFL Fans Down Under page. A few people commented on. And we chucked up one on Instagram as well. So you'll be able to do that every week too if you follow along. So you can check out our Instagram, which you'll find links to at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Or I think Isaac's probably going to sneaky chuck post up in the NFL Fans Down Under group every week too. We'll try and get some random reactions from some people too, because some of those are actually pretty cool. So we'll go through those later if they don't come up before. Right, let's kick it off with, I got a Vikings one to kick it off for you. The Vikings just absolutely wiped the floor with the Bengals in a game where we thought 2 backup QBs are going to start and it was just going to be a bucket of crap. Turns out it wasn't. Vikings absolutely demolished the Bengals at home 48-10. Free agent signings Jordan Mason and Isaiah Rodgers absolutely showed out, with Irod becoming the first place player ever in the NFL, ever, to return an interception for a TD, return a fumble for a TD, and force a fumble in the one game. Boys, Brad, even, is there a better free agent signing this season than Isaiah Rodgers?
It's unreal what that guy's done. It really is. I'm sure people have heard it, but it was all over the pre-Monday Night talk shows talking about how he was the first player from PFF ever to get a perfect grade.
Oh, mind you, perfect is 99.9, which annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah. No, well, I get that. But it's just unreal. And so, yeah, you're right. I think there may have been more, flashier signings and all that. But in terms of just the quality of play, it's just unreal. The guy's just really, really done amazing stuff.
Yeah, and he did all that before halftime, didn't he?
Yes.
All before the half. Yep. So, his work was done already.
Yeah, and, it was 34-3 at halftime. So, and that was largely in part to Isaiah Rodgers in the second quarter.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have asked people, who's Isaiah Rodgers, 99% of the NFL would have no idea. So, and it's just because he's played so well though lately. He's really starting to pick up steam.
I can't believe I was stunned when we picked him up from the Eagles to start with. I can't believe the Eagles let a player of that caliber go. At all. And he's only on a 2-year deal. It is a pretty healthy 2-year deal. It's 11 mil, which is pretty good for a position. But I could see us probably signing him for more than that right now as well. His incentives, just about every incentive is going to hit before mid-season, I think, when you look at his contract. So it's crazy.
It
is insane. Considering they're, especially coming from Philly too, where they've had quite a few DBs leave.
Yeah.
And obviously looking at the way they've played the last couple of weeks and their, the points and they've given up, plus, just what they were used to from their secondary. It's just funny watching, that sort of performance happening for a different team, just looking at it going like they could really use that right now with these close games that they're playing. So, but yeah, can you imagine how you'd be feeling putting that performance in, single-handedly almost pretty much beating the Bengals yourself. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
there was one point just before halftime where the commentators added up. So just after he'd returned the fumble for the 6, he had 156 yards in returns, at that point, and the two offenses combined had less than that. Oh no, just over that. I think they had like 160 something. So he basically himself had more yards than the two offenses combined just before halftime. So
That's correct.
yeah, it was nuts. And that guy's going to end up. I think from that one game, he'll end up as a Pro Bowler.
Absolutely, especially if
Oh,
he keeps it going. Even if it's if he gives 75% of that going forward.
Yep.
Like that's going to be massive.
Yeah, massive. And Jordan Mason again. Yeah, I mentioned it there. Jordan Mason had 2 touchdowns, like 116 yards on the ground. He absolutely destroyed them as well. They couldn't stop shit.
Yeah, it was insane.
The Bengals the Bengals defense was woeful. That was what that game was, just absolutely horrible, and their offense wasn't much better considering the caliber of the rest of the skill positions. Oh, well, the rest of the skill positions, you should be able to put a functional quarterback in there and be able to make something of it.
It's more of a reflection on Zach Taylor at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been saying it since early in the preseason, where how much longer can Zach Taylor really keep that job?
Joe Burrow's smiling somewhere, that's for sure.
Yep. Speaking of keeping jobs, Matt Eberflus should have done better against the Bears offense and offensive players due to being a head coach last year. But the Bears beat the Cowboys, absolutely spanked the Cowboys 31-14 this weekend, and largely in part because the Cowboys defense couldn't stop a runny nose at this point. How much longer does Eberflus really get with the Cowboys if it keeps going this way? And clearly, they have to be the worst defense in the league right now.
Them or New Orleans, which is not really a company that you want to keep.
No, but everyone knew Saints were going to be bad. Saints have got a massive cap problem, Brad.
Yeah. Well, the Cowboys have a massive owner problem.
It's very different.
Yeah. I don't necessarily put the ton of blame on Eberflus right now. If you ask me that in halfway through the season, then we'll see. But the truth is, coming into this season, everybody knew that secondary was going to be just poo, just flat out bad. And I think so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but what I think he's having to do, he's just playing simple like zone drops and stuff like that. And I think it's because he knows his players can't do it much more than that. So if he doesn't come up with anything, different or so like that, this season, then I would say, okay, we got to figure something out. But you can only polish a turd so much, and a lot of those guys are turds, man. It's just
So this was one of mine, Brad, because like he would have some idea of the playbook or the caliber of players or how to defend them.
Yeah.
Like when he was at the Bears, their defense was actually decent, right? So he's a defensive guy, so you'd think he'd have some insight on how they were going to play or some little tendencies, but it just showed that he didn't. So that was my question that I wanted to put in there for your thoughts on it, being an ex-Cowboys fan.
No, I'm just in hiatus.
Yeah, they just got torched.
It was bad, man. It was really, really bad. I agree with you, especially because, he should know Williams and what he's capable of, but he didn't really coach Caleb Williams. So, that was a dig at Caleb Williams. But it's so it's just, there's not a whole lot of excuses except that it's early in the season and I don't think he's got good quality players. But you're right. I felt like it should have been a better showing than what they had.
Yep.
On the Bears side, Cody, the Bears have looked half decent for a few games in pieces here and there. And do you think that maybe it came together in this game, or it's still there, not quite there, but it was just that the Cowboys' defense was severely lacking?
Yeah, I think it's probably a case of, sort of by week 3, 4, you sort of start to get some of those plays down pat a little bit more chemistry. Because I feel like that was a big issue sort of at the start. There was a lot of, because Caleb does like to do a lot of off script sort of plays. And, as much as it did kind of work at USC, he did run into a lot of trouble there. It's just that college football's a little bit more forgiving, whereas the NFL is very, if you screw up, you screw up.
Yeah.
There's no sort of leeway there. I feel like Caleb sort of stayed within the game plan a lot better this week too. Sort of trusted what the play call was actually meant to be. And you
Yeah.
could see that with some of the routes downfield too, especially like, Adunze's starting to come through as well. And if they, and Luther Burden on that big touchdown pass, they're going to need those young guys to sort of melve with Caleb, because they're sort of around that sort of same stage. So, and that's the thing, if, with Caleb sort of run, you see it all the time, he'll sort of run out of the pocket and extend a play when he doesn't necessarily need to. And, it's all right when you have a sort of veteran receivers who know that, sort of change their routes depending on where the quarterback is. But also, the same thing too with your pass protection. You call it before the play and you have a sort of set to what the defense is. As soon as you start evading the pocket too much, it's hard to sort of keep the play going without it breaking down.
Yeah.
But I felt like he did that a lot better this week. And you could see that the consistency was there too on his throws, because I feel like he's been really quite erratic as well. So, and it could also be the fact that Dallas just sucks.
Could also be that.
Well, so
I did
I
like
think we've seen a bit more of Ben Johnson as well. Like the Ben Johnson.
I was
Yes.
about to say that. Yeah, I think you really started to
absolutely.
see the Ben Johnson coming out in this game.
Yeah.
I was looking at when I'm looking at the box score and the stats, like you can see guys like Swift are getting used in both run and pass game, but Swift, Zacchaeus, Luther Burden, and even DJ Moore all used in both.
And that's the thing. They have weapons. It's just a matter of utilizing them properly. Like using checkdowns instead of extending a play longer than it needs to and throwing it into double coverage, just trying to make a miracle play, which he can do. You do it once a game, sweet. If it's any more than that, it's sort of, you're starting to get into that danger period of turning the ball over too much. So Ben Johnson's, and that's the thing, like he did that in Detroit last year too with Goff. So if you can, he can throw from the pocket, great. But then you add Caleb with his ability to extend the pocket and roll out, it opens the playbook up so much more at the right time. So I feel like if they can get a healthy combination of both, and the offense can keep going, because the defense isn't horrible. It's just hard to, carry that throughout the whole game and try and win games 17-14, and asking a lot of your defense when the offense can put up so many more points.
Yeah, great.
Yep. Moving on to the game that was played today, actually, Monday Night Football, Lions Ravens. The Ravens defense is in absolute shambles, allowing an average of 32 points per game so far this season. They've given up 41 to the Bills, 17 to the Browns, now 38 today to the Lions. Kansas City is next in a massive game for both teams. The Ravens are sitting at 1-2, third in the AFC North. I'll put my hand up. I 100% did not expect that at all from the Ravens. I thought they were going to be a lot better. That Lamar Jackson is still doing absolutely everything on this team. 21 of 27, 288 yards, but the defense itself needs to step up if they want to be at the caliber that this offense is firing at, Isaac.
Yeah, we come into the season when they signed Jair Alexander and thought this defense is going to be elite. And for them to come out that first 3 weeks and give up 41, 17, and 38, it's not doing it. And they're not winning games because of it. Like Lamar's doing everything he can to win the game. You've had some uncharacteristical fumbles from Derrick Henry, but still they're scoring enough points that if their defense showed up, they'd win the games. So their defense is the issue here, not the offense.
No sacks today on Jared Goff and only 4 tackles for loss, Brad.
They had a lot of quarterback pressures, but they didn't get any sacks and they didn't get any tackles. And it's really, really worrisome. I think they still can correct it. I mean, we're only in 3 weeks into the season, but they've got to clean things up. They're just giving up too many chunk plays, and they don't seem to be playing cohesive. It seems like they're, especially in the secondary, they're not. If I was a coach just looking at, I'm saying they're not communicating. Obviously, we don't know what's going on, but it seems like they're a bunch of islands moving around. It doesn't seem like cohesive parts to them, and they're just trying to play a little bit of hero ball, which doesn't work in the NFL. So yeah, some things got to change, and I think you could argue they're possibly the biggest disappointment of the season so far.
Massive shining light from this game, though, Brad. Actually, I'll give it a throw at the Cody. Lions, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs pair for 4 touchdowns and 218 yards on the ground.
Yeah, look, over the last couple of weeks, Baltimore's given up quite a few rush yards. So, and obviously with Dan Campbell, he likes to be physical. And obviously, if you can establish a good running game, that opens up your passing game so much more, especially with the play action. So, also having 2 backs that can do that and sort of interchange them, it's obviously Gibbs is more, he's more catch happy. It's like he's able to catch the ball out of the backfield a little bit better than David Montgomery, but having both that you can sort of almost 50% snap share between them and keep them both fresh, who both have sort of similar but also different running styles. It opens your offense up to so many more different avenues to go down, whether even if you run twin back sets, and be able to sort of utilize and shift the defense that way, and just straight up just run it straight down the middle. So it being able to have that many rush yards takes the stress off the offense as well too, and especially coming up against Baltimore, where the offense can put up quite a few points. Being able to sort of control the game and keep the possession in your favor, it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it sure does.
How
today?
Good? Go ahead.
You're right.
The Lions threw a bit at the Ravens today, though. They were going on the broadcast about the new offensive coordinator throwing a bit at him. My thoughts went straight to it's not the Ben Johnson effect anymore. It's a Detroit offense.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
I would completely agree with that. And I think just these last 2 games have really been statement games for Detroit, saying this is their identity. And they've obviously, Dan Campbell is the tone setter in that group because they've got attitude. And what I like is that they're not shying away from, they're still doing like the trick plays and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are the Colts actually a good team? That Tennessee defense was supposed to be good, and they beat up on them heavily this week, running out 41-20 winners. Daniel Jones, once again, 113 passer rating, 228 yards, touchdown. The schedule ahead isn't like walking into Mordor, Brad.
It's better than staring at the eye of Sauron. Look at us nerding out. Lord of the Rings humor. Let me show you my wand. Sorry.
Set him up and watch him run.
Yeah, exactly.
My precious.
Brad, are they actually a good team? I mean, the measure for really good teams is often, can you win a close game? And then when you get in against can you win against good teams? And then when you're against the bad teams, you actually beat up on them.
I mean, whether or not they're, Super Bowl quality team, whatever, the fact that this was their first game where they had a punt.
Yes, 1 punt in 3 games.
So that right there is telling you, because this is the NFL. This is not where you're having, Alabama beat up on Portland State, this powerhouse versus an also ran. The NFL is about parity. So To win is hard enough, and to do what they've doing, I don't care if they're beating up on the Dolphins and the Titans. They beat the Broncos, took them some luck, but they beat a really good team, a team that a lot of people had contending for the Super Bowl. So yeah, they're a good team. We've seen this from Daniel Jones a little bit before, though. Can he adapt? And because that's what the NFL is about. It's about, okay, because now 3-4 weeks, and teams get film on you. They're going to make you do things, change it up, and all that. So is he going to be able to adapt? But he's playing way better than he did when he was with the Giants and they made their playoff run. So if Daniel Jones can maintain this trajectory, yeah, they're legit, man. And Taylor, he's looking good. They are running the ball well.
Yeah.
I'll give you another quick.
You can't. This week will be the test, I think.
100%. Yeah.
If you watch the Philly Rams game, the Rams pass rushing was absolutely phenomenal, and some of the leveling out they did of Jalen Hurts is pretty good to watch. Like I chucked on the highlights, and he gets full on airborne on one of them. It's a fantastic hit where the rusher just didn't get picked up. Barkley went one way, and then the rusher just threw and leveled Hurts. So this week will be, I think, the biggest test. Like we thought Denver, their defense, again, a bit like Baltimore, that was going to be. It didn't seem that way. So it's going to be an interesting watch this week.
Yeah, this week's huge test. But the reason I referenced the schedule is that after the Rams this week, they've got the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Chargers, which is going to be hard, but then they've got Tennessee, Pittsburgh again, then Atlanta before a bye week. So it's not a crazy schedule. I'm not saying that they're going to be in a Super Bowl, but yeah, are they a good team, essentially?
And,
All right.
And good on Daniel Jones for balling out. Like, get out of the Giants and go ball out somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Prove to people that you are actually a worthy NFL quarterback.
Absolutely.
Speaking of those, the Bucks are the kings of the final drive score. They got out to 23 lead before letting the Jets back into the game. But the Iceman cometh. If you had to pick a QB to lead you down the length of the field to win a game, Brad, surely it's Baker Mayfield.
Well, it's yeah. I mean,
you have to say yes, Brad.
You kind of do, and it's not because he's the most talented guy on the face of the earth, but there's just something about him where the dude just gets stuff done. He's a baller. So yeah, it's pretty unreal. They shouldn't have been in that spot that they were in.
No.
It was only because of the special teams botched. But still, the moxie on that guy, I swear, he's got to have a wheelbarrow to carry those balls around.
Week 3 is special, Brad.
I did say week 3 is special.
It's special.
It is. And
just on that, Ibuka is just special. He is a special talent, that guy. Oh, yeah. Can't say enough about him. Like, the offensive player of the year between him and Ted McMillan at the moment is just on point.
Yeah. Have we heard anything about Evans? Is he seriously hurt, or do we know how long, if he's going to miss a bunch of time?
He'll miss some weeks. He missed 4 weeks last week with a hamstring injury. It is the hamstring again, so he'll likely miss a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
My concern is the 1,000 yards. That's my concern.
That's my concern too, Brad. But it is a deal with the devil, so it is, pretty well set in stone that at some point he'll come back and just score a shit ton of yards just to catch up.
He'll yeah.
My concern there is the coming back and being wide receiver 1 if Ibuka stays on this. What's going to happen there?
Won't matter. They'll still try and get him 1,000 yards.
40 targets a game.
Yeah. Yes.
According to Rap Sheet, Todd Bowles said the initial diagnosis is a low-grade injury that should not be long-term injury for him. Like, that's good news, but like I said, last year he did miss 4 weeks with a hamstring. So maybe a couple, Brad, 1 to a couple.
Okay.
Which is hard for them because they have a serious test this coming week against the Eagles.
Yeah. I think that could get ugly for Baker. I just hope Baker can survive that intact and not just get beat to a pulp.
They are 3-0 now, so they can afford to lose a game to the Eagles before having to go against the Seahawks, the Niners, the Lions, the Saints.
It'll be interesting because Philly's pass rush is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping him vertical will be because he did take some hits too, not just in the Jets game, but in the Texans game as well.
Yep.
He was getting laid out. So
yeah,
and just trying to because if he ends up going down, Ibuka might have to play quarterback. So at this point, it's they're run out of people fast. So and the fact that he keeps doing it with it just doesn't seem to matter who's sort of lining up at receiver either because they've still got Godwin out as well. So, but yeah, Ibuka is on another level. Like he wasn't even doing that at a higher stake. So because he was usually playing second fiddle to Marvin Harrison, the bust Marvin Harrison. So it's
I have to agree, to be honest.
It's looking that way at the moment.
Like I'm borderline almost on more yards than he is. So it's and no one wants that. So it's it's been interesting. But I'm glad he's doing well because he was so consistent through college. He was just kind of never really thought of because they always had quite a few receivers above him, and it's good to see that he went Tampa Bay instead of taking his need, they kind of took the best player available, and that's paying out dividends for them now.
Yep.
So it's been great.
All right, so let's go. The Falcons. I wanted to know in our preview show, I asked the question, is the Falcons defense legit after the win over the Vikings? Isaac, it turns out they're not. They're just as dysfunctional as ever. Raheem Morris, as said by one of our fans, or one of the people that reacted on the NFL Fans Down Under page, Matthew Blanche, he said Raheem Morris has never been a head coach, and that could not be truer. Also, at this point, Raheem Morris has never been a defensive coordinator because they gave up 30 to the Panthers, 30-0, and then weirdly, after the game, fired receivers coach Ike Hilliard as if he was the sole reason that their defense gave up 30 to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, well, finally the Panthers. But and it was interesting to see that Penix got benched in the fourth for this as well, and Kirk Cousins come on. Like what was the anyway? The Atlanta defense. I mean, yeah, I'm not high on the Falcons this year, so it doesn't really surprise me that much. I don't like their offense or their defense, but yeah. And another dysfunctional thing out of the Falcons, they released their kicker.
Oh, did they release him?
He's gone.
They've released him and signed the guy that kicked 5 this week and against the Vikings, and he went.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they signed Parker Romo because Youngway was injured. So to release a bloke that's injured to start with is bad juju. So, you deserve it.
100%.
Deserve it. Yeah. So it turns out the Falcons, that answered my question from last week. Let's finish on the Chargers. They've got to be massive favourites for postseason football right now. 3-0, and it came against all three of their division opponents, Brad, and in a very commanding way.
Dude, Herbert is balling out. I don't know if you've watched any of his stuff, but the guy is just playing unreal, and they're legit, man. It's just I felt bad. I don't know if you guys saw the Najee Harris thing. when he.
I mean, I made some jokes about it, but yes, it was very bad.
No.
Well, we're already calling Najee a pirate because he had one eye from a fireworks accident. So he lost the leg, and I just sort of said peg leg incoming for Halloween pirate dress for Najee. Because
Perfect.
That is so bad.
It is.
But it's funny.
Yeah, it is. I've torn that before. I saw that vision, and I went, "Oh, that's an Achilles."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. But they're all around, all phases. They're playing well. Offense, defense, coaching, special teams. So I am very high on the Chargers right now. I really, really love the way they're playing, and Harbaugh is just, the guy's so weird. He's awesome. It's just, yeah.
So weird. He's awesome. I love that. That's a great quote, Brad. Keenan Allen looks like the Keenan Allen of 5 years ago. Honestly.
He's wide receiver 1 at the moment, and he signed, 30 days ago.
Yeah.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Unbelievable. My only concern with the Chargers now with Najee going down is the running game all falls on Amarian Hampton. And you see with rookies, back end of the season, they hit a wall. So I don't know if they'll go out and sign someone or trade for someone, a workhorse to keep it going. But yeah, they're looking phenomenal at the moment.
Yeah, because
Zeke Elliott's out there.
Stop it. Because they've only got Hassan Haskins at the moment. So there are definitely better options than Zeke Elliott out there, mate.
I think any of you three would be a better option.
There's an older bloke by the name of Cook who could definitely do a better job than Zeke Elliott could.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
But he would fit too. Hassan Haskins is their running back 3.
Okay.
So he gets elevated at this stage. I think that my only other concern with the Chargers was they are very injured on their lines.
Yeah.
Very, very injured on their lines. Like Mekhi Becton ended up with a concussion last week.
Gone.
Yeah, so
Rashawn Slater's out for the season too.
Yeah, Rashawn Slater's out for the season. Josh Fugo is out. It's just, it's crazy that their lines, their tackles and their guards are just getting decimated. So how much longer can they hold out? Yeah, essentially. All right, let's do a quick go around of these reactions from what we've got around the internet. So I've given it a couple. Kevin Upton said Cam Scatterbo was a steal and Genty was drafted too high. Justin Travis, it's go time for Trey Benson. Certainly is. James Conner out for the season, so it's Trey Benson's season down there for the Cardinals. Colin Bridges, 49ers seem to be more likely to kick out of a late game chokehold this season. That's sort of...
they haven't played anyone of significance, really.
No.
So, I don't know about that one. Let's get them against a good team and see where they go.
Michael Crossley says the Cowboys could get the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah, they could. They very well could. So, which wouldn't bother me one iota.
Michael,
but, it's.
How's this for an overreaction? Carsten Dennell says Bills 17-0.
I checked their schedule last night, and once that reaction come through, and it's not that far fetched.
It's pretty cruisy.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, I think it's the teams that they're the divisions that they're matched against this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they?
But I mean, if Green Bay can lose to the Browns, the Bills are going to lose to somebody.
Absolutely.
I think on the schedule right now, Kansas City and the Eagles would be the only two teams that would be
absolutely
like very iffy games for them. Jesus Christ, that game! Did we not check this schedule out when we were doing division previews? Because holy shit! Why didn't I have the Bills?
Man.
I mean, I had the Ravens going Zero losses. Why did I have
Jeez,
the Bills? Oh no, yeah, well that's dead in week 3. No, I had them win one loss. That's sorry, I had them win one loss. Remember, and that was to the Bills in week
Bills
1.
in week 1.
I need to go back and check my playoff predictions now to see
It
if
is.
I was.
It is a really easy schedule. When I looked at it
I had the
last
Bills
night,
at 15-2, so that's pretty possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really easy schedule. Tim Hopper says Steelers have shown enough. They're off to the Super Bowl and winning it. Is he one of your mates, Isaac?
No, he put it in there last night, and I was cracking up laughing. It was so.
That's a hell of an overreaction.
The bit where he goes, "I've seen enough."
Yeah, kudos to Steelers fans for finally being able to be just happy about something that's happening in Pittsburgh.
There's another 500 season coming again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our good mate Matty C. Houston have one great unit, D-line. The rest aren't even as good as average. That's a fair call.
Hey, man. I mean, I would have said no, but the reality is proof's in the pudding. So it's not that outlandish of a statement. O-line sucks. Running backs sucks. Receivers are underperforming. Quarterbacks underperforming. So, yeah, I can see where you'd say that.
Tay gave us a 2-word reaction. Russ sucks. If anyone hasn't checked out the merch store in the last couple of years, don't forget you can check out our merch store, linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network for that link. There is a Russ is Puss shirt. Famously came out of Tay's mouth a couple of years ago. Go and get it, because Russ sucks.
Cody,
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does.
What do you think? Because you're obviously we're a Seahawks fan, and you've seen Russ at his prime. Do you think he should be benched?
Look, I don't know if depending on direction, if you go, if you put Dart in, because obviously they have a plan, whether that's going to right all the wrongs at the moment, or whether you still give it a bit of time to let him develop and then bring him in, because I can't see him sort of making a massive change as much as Russ. He does suck, and he's not helping things at the moment. I mean, obviously you had last week where he threw for almost 500 yards and played really well, and then he just resorts to whatever that was this week, deciding that he doesn't want to throw to his own team, and just Captain Moonball again, which worked in Seattle, but it's he does suck, and unfortunately, because I miss like the old Russ running around, especially when we won the Super Bowl and stuff, and obviously our defense carried us then. But even a couple of years after that, prime Russ, watching him be able to sort of maneuver and do 360s and out of the pocket and extend plays, and like that Russ is gone. He's sort of built more like I am at the moment. That's not good. And it's sad to see, because I still love Russ. It's unfortunate to see what he's doing. I'm glad he's still playing, but it's he hasn't got as much zip on the old fastball anymore. It's sort of it's dying off a little bit. So
you're being kind, but yes,
I am, because I think about old Russ and I love Russ, man.
Yeah, Russ is a good dude. I mean,
it's okay to have those. It's okay to still love that Russ, but there's a reality where this Russ still exists. So
he's he's absolute bump. And look, I mean, you'd think with the offense they have, even with neighbors and stuff, as a primary target, and Scatterboo is Peyton Hill is 2.0 as well.
Yes, nice. Yes, that's exactly what he is.
Also looks like he's already got the fun type of CTE before he's even got to the league. So
he is. He's walking.
He's got the Gronk.
The
Gronk CTE.
He's the walking CTE advertisement. That kid.
100%. He's a little Gronk. So it's it'd be interesting to see what they do going forward. Because I like Jackson Dart. I was really high on him out of Ole Miss, and I think he'll bring a life to it sort of towards the back end of the season. But
no, I think we all know what needs to happen right now in New York for the Giants.
Jameis Winston.
Yes,
100%.
It's Winston time.
Yeah,
we're eating dubs. Let's go.
I couldn't care if they lost every game. I just want to see Jameis Winston with his whatever he decides to do is his pep talk before the game.
Yep. I want it.
Every game.
I want
I'll
every
watch every
piece of
Giants
it.
game.
I want every piece of it.
You know, just get a bit of Jameson there because he's a character. So yeah, look, Russ, maybe sit down a bit and just let James out there with some crab legs or something and just get going. Let him unleash.
Put Jameis
We all
in.
know that's
Get Jameis in. Get him on prime time, and let's go.
100%.
Well, actually,
He'll
they
throw
are.
40 picks.
They got.
Yeah.
We got Thursday night football in a couple of weeks against the Eagles. Get Jameis in for that game. Let's go. Let's go.
Jesus.
Kenyon Mitchell's going to have about 6 picks, but I tell you what, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, sure will. All right, the last two from our good mate Kev. Jake Ferguson is him, and of course, Kev says the Bears will be in shootouts all year.
Yeah, I think the game was set up for Ferguson to just have a big game, and he did, because Dak's not afraid to dink and dunk, and that's all was available to him, especially after CD went down.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But yeah, and I agree. The Bears will probably be in shootouts all year.
Yeah, they will.
All right, let's get to Thursday night football for week 4. Seahawks at Cardinals, State Farm Stadium, Glendale, Arizona, this Friday, Australian time, 10:15 a.m. Obviously is the kickoff, as it always is. The Seahawks go to Arizona coming off a 44th in smashing of the New Orleans Saints last week. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are playing fairly consistent football. Absolutely love watching what's going on down there, especially with Kenneth Walker and JSN balling out. The Cardinals, on the other hand, come off a very narrow 1-point loss to the 49ers, where they very much could have almost beat the 49ers this week if a couple of things had gone a little bit different for them. Number one being James Conner not ending up hurt in that game. I think we would have seen a very different result at the end of the game. Cody,
Yes.
Seahawks are your team.
Yeah.
How do you think they're looking going into Arizona this week against the Cardinals?
I think, well, obviously we just came playing with the Saints, which was kind of like a bye week at this point. But I mean, we had a lot of short yardage opportunities early, which also helped with the score. We didn't start with the ball in our own half till probably early second quarter, I think it was. So you got to sort of take that with a grain of salt, because we haven't looked the best over the first couple of weeks either. Especially our running game hasn't been getting going as much as I thought it would. Obviously with Arizona, their run defense isn't sort of middle of the road. So, and Charbonnet didn't play against the Saints either, so which was a big loss. Because I feel like he coming in for Kenneth Walker on those third down plays as a little wrecking ball coming through, that gives a bit of a different look. Arizona's defense, especially with Buda Baker and Josh Sweat off the edge, I feel like is going to pressure Darnold a lot more. As much as the offensive line has played pretty well, they're not at a consistent level where I can guarantee that it's going to be consistent throughout the whole game. And Darnold looked really good against the Saints, but he was pressured, but not to the extent that he has been in the past. And he had a clean pocket most of the day. So, look, these games are usually always pretty close. JSN's obviously playing really well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do, especially against that secondary in Arizona. Not having Will Johnson is a big help there too. He's having a really, he's a really good cornerback, even though for a rookie, he's really good. Arizona also doesn't have Paris Johnson playing, so which will be a big thing too. We've basically been running a 4-3 the last couple of weeks as well. So we've only been rushing 4. And that worked, as I said, that worked well against the Saints. But again, it's hard to sort of get a real feel against them because, we had that much field position between the block punt and turnovers and stuff like that. It was hard to sort of gauge. But I think, as I said, like, these games are always really close. So Arizona and Seattle, they're usually tight fought. We also don't have DK to run down Buda on a pick, which is kind of sad. But it's I think it'll be good if we can keep the ball on the ground and keep possession. I think it'll be in our favor. Playing in Arizona is always tough too compared to Seattle. Not that we've played that well at home over the last little while. We've actually lost quite a few games in Seattle, which never used to happen. So I think it'll be a good test. Obviously, Kyler is always a threat with his legs as well. So trying to keep him contained in the pocket will be a challenge. But I was watching back on the Arizona game for a couple of weeks ago, and the way they do their blitzes, so blitz schemes, is they'll come up to the line in a 7-man front, disguising as if they're going to drop their linebackers, but they don't. So they rush 7, and they have a switch with Buda Baker, and their weak side linebacker will come through the gap, and Calais Campbell will switch and take on 3 linemen. So you leave your safety and your linebacker free to rush to the quarterback.
Yep.
And they were running it consistently, but then changing it to a drop in coverage. So it's just those kind of looks that obviously New Orleans, it wasn't there. So it'll be good to see Darnold have to think about the coverages and that kind of thing. So, and see how he processes through those plays, because he hasn't really had to be challenged that much yet outside of San Francisco. So outside of that, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Brad, Cardinals are without three of their starting guys on their offensive line. Evan Brown, Paris Johnson, as Cody mentioned, Will Hernandez as well. All 3 guys out. That's big losses for the Cardinals, especially with Kyler Murray being such a flighty guy that needs to sort of have a bit more consistency there to actually achieve.
Yeah. And you take out the starting running back as well, and it's not looking good. Yeah. And you throw in the Seattle defensive line that's been playing really well. They haven't given up more than 17 points in a game. So I think Seattle's going to feast on this. So what's the spread again on this?
0.5 right now. We're recording Tuesday night. Obviously a couple of days left before Thursday night football kicks off, but 0.5 is still very low this late in the week for this particular game.
Yeah.
The total is sitting at 43.5.
So personally, I would take I don't want to throw out our bets too early, but I got to say, I would take the under on this, and I would take the Seahawks to win outright. And Cody laid out the game pretty well. And I think that just that Seattle defensive line is going to wreak havoc on a really green Arizona line. And you're going to need to see Kyler Murray get the ball out quick. He's going to have to get it out super quick. So I wouldn't surprise if you see McBride get a lot of just quick little dump off safety valve catches. Yeah,
I also too think it's going to be a pretty cruisy win for Seattle. I love JSN. He is just one top 10 wide receiver in the league at the moment. He's playing really well. Your ground game's going well. Darnold's playing as a serviceable quarterback, which is all you need him to do.
Absolutely.
And I think Arizona are going to come up against a really good Seattle team, and it's not looking good.
We've had a few injuries on our secondary as well, so we've got a few guys that are filling in. Like Witherspoon hasn't, he's still out. Eamon Morey's still out. And we've had Josh Jobe in there who played really well against the Saints. So, and obviously with their Arizona receivers not, especially Marvin Harrison, you'll have a career game. You watch.
Yeah, right.
Make me look like an idiot twice. It'll be like our secondaries, with our fill-ins and stuff, have played really well. Kobe Bryant's playing really well at safety, even though he's not really built like a safety. So it'll be interesting. I want to see Dexter Lawrence sort of make more of an impact too. DeMarcus Lawrence. Because I feel like he was yes. He was feeling you haven't really seen his impact yet. So it'll be good. I know how these, it looks on paper like we should be win handling, but I have thought that so many times before. And I look at I'll have my lunch break at work and I'll look at the score and I'm like, really? But these division games are just so so tough, which is annoying sometimes. So, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be good. Brad, you mentioned one bet there. Have you got anything else?
For this one,
Yeah, for this game. Any lines that interest you early week?
I'm taking, I would, if you can, I would take Seattle to get 3+ turnovers. I really think they're going to wreak some havoc on that defensive side of the ball. So that's a big one. Like I said, I would take the Seahawks straight up, and I would do the under on most of Arizona's offensive stats. To be honest with you, I think it's going to get ugly.
Yep. Cody, I didn't ask you. Do you like to bet?
I do. I don't win much, but
None of us do. We don't.
Nah.
We don't bet big, mate. We just try and pick lines.
yeah, neither do I. I always have the bad habit of going, oh, shit, look, I'll chuck it up. Oh, hang on. I can get that up to $48 instead of 41. Yeah, go on. And that's a leg that loses.
Yes.
And I go, I'm not going to do that next time. And then I do it again.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of some player props here.
Let's hear it.
Kenneth Walker for an anytime touchdown is paying
Yeah.
some pretty decent money. He's just under $2.
It's not bad.
Sam Darnold, 200+ yards. Is it like $1.54? That's a pretty good amount for Darnold. The other one that I'm really liking is actually the Cardinals, who is now the Cardinals' backup running back behind Trey Benson, Amari DeMarcado. 20+ yards, a measly 20+ yards. He's paying $2.35.
What would that be as a multi? I like that as a multi.
Those ones? Well, if I do those, plus I had in there at the moment, well, actually, if I just do those three, it's $6.50, Brad. The other one I had in there at the moment is Seahawks for the handicap at 0.5, plus 0.5.
And what does that put it?
That puts it at $11.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
So, done.
There's your kids' college
Don't have to
fund.
tell.
Don't you dare threaten me with a good time, Brad.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, that's been awesome. Cody, thanks very much for joining us, man. That was awesome. Awesome rundown
Thank you
on
very
TNF.
much for having me.
Yeah, no, man.
Thanks for
It's
coming
been
on,
cool.
man.
It's been really good.
It's been good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No worries. There's still a few spots around too if you want to jump on and have a chat about your team or just another team. I've got gaps in there if you want to join us. Hit me up on socials. So you can find, like I said before, all the links at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Just hit me up on the socials. We've got some gaps here and there in the season as I'm starting to plan. I'm planning on someone pretty cool for next week for Rams 49ers. I'm really hoping Brad can join me, to be honest, because we won't have Nick or Isaac.
I'll be there.
Otherwise, we'll have to find a pinch hitters. But I'm planning on someone. It looks like we might have someone really cool from around the local Gridiron Traps, another content creator from Australia.
Beauty.
Nice.
So hopefully that comes to fruition. So tune in for that. Otherwise, we will be back. Isaac, Nick, Brad, and myself will be back this weekend for our preview show where we've got 4 of the games we want to watch, plus 2 Monday night football games this week. They're not exciting Monday night football games, but we're going to preview them nonetheless because we've made that thing where we are going to do Monday night football previews. They are there. Apart from that, thanks everyone for joining us, and see you soon.